Hi, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about the Kettlebell Snatch. Kettlebell Clean, what we want to focus on is having our feet pointed straight ahead. We don't want to be turning out. I know some people do it this way. I would never tell you to do it this way. When people turn out, their feet collapse, their knees roll in, their hips do weird things. So we're going to point our feet straight ahead because that's the way we want to walk. We want to walk with our feet straight ahead. We're going to start with our Kettlebell Clean. Hand out to the side, thumb points back, push it back, elbow stays close to the body, bring it up. We're going to have our wrist in a nice flat line, so if we open our hand, our fingers are pointed straight up towards the sky. We are going to avoid the barbell grip. Our clean, and then our press. This is the end point of our snatch. And we want our end point to have the same thing, our fingers pointed up. If our fingers are pointed back, then you'll notice our elbow will probably get soft almost immediately. We want our 3 points of contact, point 1, point 2, point 3, and it will be resting on the back of your arm. We want those same points of contact that we had with our clean, but now we want them to be much, much higher. So the way that you're prepping to learn a snatch is you start by developing your clean and press. Clean, press, and then what we're going to do is we're going to snatch down. So we're going to clean and press up, snatch down. Clean and press up, snatch down. Clean and press up, snatch down. Thumb points back, hike the weight back, snatch down. Snatch down. Snatch down. What you're going to notice is the kettlebell, just like in our clean video, the kettlebell is not going over the top of our hand, it is going around the outside of our hand. From the top position, we are not pitching it over the top. We are turning our pinky towards the front, letting our hand come down, and then rotating our thumb to the back. That is half of the snatch. That is the reverse snatch. Now, we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to snatch up, clean and press down. Thumb points back, skip the middle, all the way to the top, rotate your hand. Kettlebell should move around the outside of your hand. You should land 1, 2, 3 points of contact. Wrist should be flat. No barbell grip at the top. Nice and straight, so it can lock out. Thumb points back, hike the weight back. Hike, all the way up. Fingers pointed straight up at the top. Hard style would be with a nice strong grip at the top. Snatch up, prep yourself, push back, snatch up, bring it down, pause, prepare, load. With this movement, we are doing a clean and press, but we are skipping the middle. Think of a clean and press as having 4 exhales. One, 2, 3, 4. That's one way to think of it. That's a bit more intermediate level breathing. Let's now look at the snatch. Same thing, a snatch is any clean and press where you skip the middle. Barbell, kettlebell, club, sandbag, all the same. Push it back, skip the middle, go to the top. I'm doing a double exhale. There are other breathing patterns. I prefer the double exhale. How your wrist moves at the top is up to you. If you're not beating yourself to death, you're probably doing it right. If this is flat, you're probably doing it right. If you're catching with a barbell wrist and your wrist hurts, you're probably doing it wrong. Something that you're going to notice about this is that when your arm goes up and you bring your pinky down to the front and snatch down, it can look like the weight is going over the top. It is not necessarily going over the top. The way you can tell is you will see this movement here of the pinky rotate to the front first, and then you will see it come around. So on the way down is not the most important part. The way up is the important part, is that rotation. In that clean, we have the rotation around your hand instead of over your hand, and the same thing is true of the snatch. The snatch can be a clean halfway up, a little bit higher, or all the way to the top. The goal is not to have it go up and beat you to death at the top of the movement. It's this rotation. How it comes down is less important as long as you're catching it and you're not ripping your hand in half. The only thing that makes it wrong is the fact that it hurts. If you can keep going, then you're doing it pretty much okay. You'll see soft style guys use what looks like a barbell wrist, but it's not. They're not resting the weight up here on the pad of their hand. They're resting it right here. Instead of doing a hard style grip with a flat wrist, they're moving their wrist out of the way, but the weight is still pushing straight down through the palm heel of their hand to load the bone. We're not trying to load all the tendons and everything on our wrist. We're trying to load vertically straight down. A vertical line, down through the bone, down through the shoulder, cross body to the opposite hip. In this movement, as in all movements, we have 8 key components of structure. You have wrist alignment, elbow lock, shoulder pack, ground to coccyx alignment, core engagement, hip snap, which is finishing with your tailbone tucking underneath, leg drive, 2 legs locking out 3 straight, and number 8, foot alignment. Not having your feet turned out 2 different directions, pointing both feet straight ahead as if your feet are walking. We're supposed to walk with our feet straight ahead. We're not supposed to walk turned out. We're not supposed to walk turned in. Get your feet set up. If your feet are set up, kind of everything else will eventually come into line if you do the math of the program correctly. So really quickly, we're going to demo how all of these things are related to each other. We're going to start with a 2-handed swing. We're going to move to a single hand swing. The single hand swing is going to become a single hand clean. We're going to then become a clean and press. We're going to go clean and press up, snatch down, snatch up, clean and press down, snatch up, snatch down. That's the whole evolution of the idea of developing a snatch, and there's a bunch of math behind all that, but this is the order that it goes in. First things first, bottom. Point both feet straight ahead, hips drop back, 2 hands out in front, pack the shoulder blades down. Moving to a single hand swing. Moving to a clean. To a clean and press. Clean and press up, snatch down. Pausing, snatch up, clean and press down. Final thing, full snatch. Kettlebell snatch is commonly referred to as the king or the queen of all kettlebell exercises. Kind of makes it the king or the queen of all exercises if you want to be snarky about it. Hits every muscle in your body, is murder cardio, but the numbers are high. So there's a couple ways to do this. You do this with really heavy weights, with low numbers, making it more like barbell or traditional strength training, Or you do it the Russian way, which is longer sets, 50 to 100 reps on each side, 100 reps in 5 minutes on the left, 100 reps in 5 minutes on the right, 10 minutes total. 200 reps is the commonly accepted goal. I think people are pushing way beyond that now. People are hitting, 240 reps, which is pretty gnarly. The main point is it's the same points that you have with the clean. Wrist alignment is good, foot alignment is good. Extend every joint in your body to get to the top. 3 points of contact. Point 1, point 2, point 3, and it will rest on the back of your bone. If your hand is pointed straight up and down, you're doing it correct. If you're barbelling, you're probably not doing it wrong. If the kettlebell is resting in a barbell grip at the top, adjust it. Get that 45-degree downward angle, even at the top of that movement. Finish your hips at the top of the movement, which means extend them all the way forward, roll them underneath, lock out all the joints in your body. Be strong.